Good evening, everyone. This is the Hillbilly Think Tank coming at you live from Kentucky. So it's been quite a day, quite a week, quite a year. When is it all going to be over? When can we get back to sanity? That's my biggest question. So, again, Spencer Keck, Hillbilly Think Tank, coming at you live from Kentucky. Now, we know that we've got a president who bragged before about he would grab women by the pussy and he'd get away with it because that's what you can do when you're rich. Apparently, that's what he thinks he can do with the whole world. Because it seems now we're grabbing snatch from our neighbors, thinking they should take it and love us for it. And yet, our adversaries, we're treating them like they're our long lost lovers. What on earth is going on? You know, looking back, we want to take over Greenland. We're demanding that they let us take them over. We're demanding that Canada also become our 51st state. We're demanding the Panama Canal becomes our control again. And we're demanding that this oil in Venezuela be given to us, even though it is on sovereign soil of Venezuela. You know, this is absolute just chicanery. And how can we allow it to keep on going? We went ahead and bombed Nigeria Christmas Day. We're planning on doing some bombing missions again in Israel, not in Israel, but for Israel in Iran. My gosh. And this is supposed to be the peace president? Is this really what folks voted for when they said they were voting for a president that was going to bring peace? All he's done is make our friends our enemies and treated our enemies as if they're the best friends we ever had in our life. Give away state secrets and just hand over Europe. Europe now is terrified of us, not because they think that we're powerful and they have envy of us. It's because they see that we're not the ally anymore. You know, it used to be that our country that shares the world's longest unprotected border with us, Canada, our very friendly neighbors up north, you know, they just were content being that friendly next door neighbor with the really powerful but cantankerous neighbor down south. Now it's gone beyond cantankerous when we say, hey, we want to take over Canada and they need to just become our 51st state and love it. They have not been able to get over that when we backed it up with trade sanctions that are absolutely ludicrous, with tariffs that have done nothing to give us the windfall that we were told. Yeah, they've raised some billions of dollars for the Treasury, but not nearly enough to get rid of all income tax as we're told it was. Not nearly enough to give any of us dividend checks from it. Not at all. Not nearly enough to run our $1 trillion defense budget. All right. We've only got 136 or so billion out of this tariff war that we've started with the whole world. These tariffs are not paying for themselves. You know, all they're doing is raking in debt for Americans and putting our farmers out of business. Cattlemen going belly up. Yet, of course, we know that we're making Argentina great again. We're making teeny tiny Greenland terrified of us. Denmark is now going to have to decide what is their stake going to remain in Greenland. They've been protecting Greenland for years. I was involved with a joint Canadian and Danish military exercise in the Navy back in the early 2000s. Well, back in about 2010 or 2012, right around that era. And, there was nothing but love and hospitality at that time between Canada, Greenland, Denmark, and the US. Like I said, my ship pulled in. I had to have some of my sailors treated for injuries at the emergency room in Nuuk, Greenland. No charge to us, even though the sailor that I needed to have looked at had to have a CAT scan, have some x-rays, was treated by the orthopedic ER surgeon there in the clinic. They're not about to give up their rights as Greenlanders with the protection of Denmark for us to come in and take away the benefits they have of being part of Denmark. Right? That Denmark provides them with completely free medicine. The doctors and the nurses that treated the sailor on my ship that I brought there, those doctors and nurses were all from Denmark. They loved working there in Greenland because they said they made more than they would in Denmark. And Greenlanders, they're not about to give up those benefits. They have sovereignty, and they're just a protectorate of Denmark. They're still their own sovereign nation. They're not going to give that up so they can just call themselves an American territory. Now, Panama, they're not about to just say, oh yeah, come on back. Treat us like, redheaded stepchild. No. Canada, we've already terrified them, our most peaceful neighbor in the world. Terrified them. We have shut down our trade, Kentucky bourbon industry right here where I'm sitting. The bourbon industry is reeling from not having Canadians buying bourbon. They bought so much bourbon until this year, till the tariffs were put on them. So what are we going to do? Are we just going to sit back as our prestige around the world gets sunk by idiots who think that being bullies is real power? No, our real power was the fact that everyone wanted to trade with us around the world. And we were all about selling free trade as being the backbone of capitalism. We sold capitalism around the world, and now we're making that capitalistic ploy crumble with these tariffs. Do I believe that we had too much dependence on Chinese goods? Yeah, I do. But do Americans need to suffer while our tariffs are just here one day, gone the next day, here one day, gone the next day? No one has any idea of what kind of market stability will occur in America when we operate like this? No. And who wants to hang out with an economic clown car like we've become now? Clowns are fun for the circus, but clowns are not great for running a whole country, especially not when it comes to international business. This is absolutely messing us over. Are we going to be able to come back from it? Man, dubious. So, all right. I see that. Nope, Toltro, this one is live. I didn't make this one 4 years ago. Funny one there. Yeah. Toltro, okay. 6'7", you got it. But no, this one is live, finally. So, as anyone can see, we're just going down some type of crazy rabbit hole, and we have got to get out of it. We've got to come back from this. How can we return to sanity? Well, this is still a democracy. We've got to use our democratic process to do so. We'll have to figure it out. That's all I know. Hopefully we'll figure it out quick. All right. Don't have much else to say. You just got to vote. All right. I'm running for magistrate, 3rd District, Hardin County, Kentucky. We got other great candidates up and down the line. They're trying to put an end to this nonsense. And if you've just been voting for people because are by their name, you really got to rethink that clown car. We've got to say, hey, America and American farmers, American citizens, the regular American, the regular Kentuckian is much more important than billionaires worldwide, right? We need to bring back good business practices to this world and to this nation. The world's just leaving us in the dust. We've now become a laughing stock. We are not the powerhouse that some buffoons want to think we are when we've trashed the goodwill of every peace-loving nation on this earth. And we've made enemies of all peace-loving nations. They're now writing us off, terrified of us, and not planning on having us as a reliable ally. Come on back to reality. Quit drinking that Kool-Aid. No matter how much sugar they put in it, no matter how sweet you think it is, it's not working. All right. Happy New Year. Have a great one. We know that we love our neighbors as ourselves here in Kentucky, and we are our brother's keeper and our sister's keeper, because in Kentucky, united we stand, divided we fall. God bless you a corazon.